So here we are backstage at the Velvet Underground with Crownlands. Before you guys hit the stage tonight, Cody, Kevin, say hi to everybody.
Hey, guys.
So here we are. How long has this been now? Probably 18 months of you guys really going insane at this thing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're becoming a household name of the world of rock and roll.
Thanks.
What the hell happened?
We're still trying to figure that out.
We just kept playing, and we didn't stop playing. And
Don't give up.
Yeah. Just talk to everybody, you know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. You guys first got noticed, I think, on a bigger, grander scale by our Lee Ackley, who fell in love with you guys like immediately. He's like, dude, pay attention. And I'm like, okay, cool. And you and I met a while ago.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we all met. And you know, but at the time, it was like this kind of underbelly feeling, and people were talking about Crownlands and that there was something going on with the guys. Have you noticed any difference in the last little while?
I think for the most part, we still feel pretty underground. I mean, it's not like we don't have a tour bus or anything yet. We're still just driving, to the gigs in our minivan.
Yeah, but like in our hometown, like we're walking around the mall and people are like stopping us and stuff. So like, yeah, I'm feeling it a little bit, but nothing too crazy or anything.
Yeah.
So, in the last little while, it's gone from, playing the Mustache Club,
Yeah.
on a consistent basis,
Yeah.
to all of a sudden you find out you're playing and opening Protest the Hero in Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah.
So how seriously, I like the Cross Canada tour. How huge is that with your resume?
Dude, it's a dream come true. When I was in high school, Protest the Hero is like the most important band because I grew up in Whitby and they're hometown heroes. And I remember when Kazaya came out. I remember when Fortress came out, and they just finished 10-year anniversary tours on those albums. And so that's ridiculous that things have kind of come full circle where, jamming those records in your basement and like drooling over those intricate parts, and all of a sudden they think you're good enough to open for them across your country. So that's pretty wild. It's pretty humbling.
Yeah, very humbling.
So all of a sudden your eyes are wide open to what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least in Canada.
Well, soon,
Yeah.
right? All this stuff always takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, totally.
What do you got on the horizon aside from that? More recording?
So many
Oh,
new
yeah,
things. We're in
More
the heat
writing?
of,
How often do you guys write?
writing. We kind of do it in seasons, I think. Like we write a batch of tunes and then we jam them out for a bit, and then I'm always the first one to be like, we need more songs. So we just kind of like go into it whenever we feel it's right. But we're in the middle of writing so many songs right now.
Yeah, I think it's past writing at this point. We're demoing and recording a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah.
And so that way we're gonna have at least a new song or two out for the Protest and Coheed tour. Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Can we talk about who you're working with?
Not
Have you inked it yet?
Not quite yet. It's
Not
still
yet?
kind of, we're working on it.
Yeah,
Alright.
the paint's trying.
But it kind of rhymes with mouse, but bigger.
Something like that. Yeah.
Kind of, but bigger. So then, I want to talk a whole bunch actually about your influences, because everybody says,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, you got to see these guys." People who don't know that I know who you are, they always say, "Oh my God, you got to see these guys. They're like old but new." And I'm like,
Feel old.
"Well, what does that mean?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "But it's like they've channeled the spirit from a previous lifetime and are doing it now in 2018." What are your influences? Like, who did you draw from? Because obviously there's some old school rock and roll there.
Yeah, well, I grew up listening to Rush primarily from my father, and I was really influenced by Rush, Queen, and Led Zeppelin growing up. So, like, those are my all-time favorite bands.
Yeah. Rush is number one for me. Like, it's being in a duo.
Hey, look, Getty. No, just kidding.
I wish. It's like in the band, I'm juggling guitar, bass, and keyboards, and I'm to like draw influence from that. Geddy's obviously influenced my bass playing big time, and Alex Lifeson has influenced my guitar playing. But Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac is a huge influence, as is Mark Knopfler, because most of the time I'm finger picking, so I can do like a bass line with my thumb and a lead line with my first finger. And so a lot of those like folky, country influenced finger pickers have like really informed my playing, and I've brought that into that hard rock space.
If you're going that deep with it, sorry.
No, keep going.
Trying to warm up.
No, keep going.
I'm really influenced by Steve Marriott from Humble Pie. Yeah, he's dope.
We were talking about the country influences. Did you play country before?
No. I've listened to a lot of country. I grew up. I love Shania Twain. I
What male doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, no, but for real, that was a huge influence on me as a kid, seeing those music videos. And I realized I would never be that pretty, so I made Crownlands instead. Yeah.
We just got to get you into makeup. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get our own wardrobe department.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Worst comes to worst, you can go down to Dundas and get a couple kimonos.
There you go. Yeah. The kimonos, yeah, it might be a little too on the nose, and it's like you have to wear your influences proudly on your sleeve, but sometimes you don't want to.
I don't know what you're saying.
I saw you getting that tat, man.
Oh, that was the coolest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it
we
looks
get
great.
into the Zeppelin talk, right? So,
Yeah, totally.
and wearing it sleeve, it is my sleeve so far. So far. So when you guys are sitting there jamming around, what are you playing now? Like when you're just jamming, you're picking tunes. You're just jamming somebody else's
Oh yeah.
stuff. What are you playing?
These days, we just worked out all 8 minutes of Kashmir, and
For two guys. Doing Kashmir.
Yeah.
Seriously.
yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like a-
No loops?
No loops, none. Just us.
Stellar.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you find the vocals, Cody?
For Kashmir? Oh, it's one of Plant's easier songs for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not that
okay.
bad.
Okay. What do you consider one of his harder songs?
Yeah. Communication breakdown's pretty demanding.
Yeah.
In term, I'm thinking about like
and
playing,
playing drums at the same
singing.
time. Yeah,
because
yeah,
those are weird syncopations with
Yeah.
the vocals. That one's probably the worst offender, I think.
So-
We've goofed off with Limelight by Rush a little bit, but it's hard. Again, it's hard to be like a duo playing Rush when you have to figure out where the bass parts are gonna go because you can't ignore Geddy's bass lines.
Yeah, you got to kind of like sub them in, and he doesn't want to like ape Geddy's lines too hard.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. How difficult is it for you guys as a two-piece to try to emulate the music of, a trio, like power trio, or you get into like full sound, full-fledged music, and there's two guys making a hell of a lot of noise. How does that happen?
We've moved in a very different direction from most duos, and we've treated the guitar and the bass as separate instruments, and we've let them have their own breathing space sonically. And then I'm playing keyboards with my feet to do counterpoint lines instead of just doubling up like an octave lower. I'm trying to figure out like clever ways to write a line that might ascend while my guitar is going down, and that way you can Cody has more things to build his vocals and those lyrics off instead of just one single musical piece. You have like 2 or 3 things happening underneath the vocal, and that helps us kind of develop a thicker sound.
Yeah, and lately we've been incorporating that a lot more, and so it's got it opens up a lot of room for some really unique sounding melodies and stuff. So you'll hear it.
I can hardly wait.
Yeah, thanks.
So when you guys are still out playing, touring, and everything, is there anybody that you guys want to play with? Is there like, it's not, you got Protest, right?
Yeah, like,
And-
it's
and
kind
Coheed.
of ridiculous because that was like a pie in the sky, like it's just like a joke. Yeah, sure. One day we'll play with Protest, and all of a sudden we're touring with them.
Yeah.
But if you could put your name into the hat, going, oh, so and so's got a tour going, I'd love to be on that one.
It's a shot
Yeah.
in the dark, but for me it would be King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, for sure. Those guys are like my favorite band.
King
right now.
Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Yes, it's like a tongue twister.
Now, why have I never heard of these guys?
You haven't?
I have never
Oh.
heard of them.
Oh well now
I'm
you
behind
have.
the rock.
There we go.
Do we have to get them on Gen Next or what?
They're incredible.
Or they are the Gen Next.
Oh, they're-
A few years ago.
yeah.
They're this super weird Australian band.
Yeah,
and
they're
they
7-piece with 2 drummers.
Yeah.
A 7-piece. It sounds like Max Webster in the 80s.
Yeah, they put out 5 albums last year, man. and,
Really?
like,
Oh yeah, and they're all bangers. And they got
Seriously.
different
And
concepts.
serious
and everything.
players.
Yeah, serious
Really?
players. They all
Oh.
like jazz.
I know a couple
graduates.
Australians. I'll see if they have any.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll see if I can borrow an album or two from a couple friends that we share. Right on. Cool, guys. Listen, thank you so much. Enjoy your show tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kill it.
Okay.
All right. Simple as that.